Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl G. First of all, I just want to thank you all, my 26 subscribers, my day ones. Thank you so much for your support, for liking my videos, for watching my videos, for sharing and sharing your wonderful comments with me. I truly appreciate you. We have begun the road to 100 subscribers. We can do it. Let's do it. Let's grow the channel, guys. Yeah, I just came from, taking the trash out, and it's so hot. Like, literally, hot air just blew on me, and this gush of hot air. Yeah, it's summer. It's officially summer. It's blazing hot. And apparently this is, last week was the first week of summer. Yeah, so we're on the second week of summer. Yeah, gosh. When I came to England 6 months ago, it was winter. And I was coming from summer. And our summer is blazing hot, like 40 degrees, heat waves type of thing. But here now, I think today maximum is like 28 or 30, but it does feel like it's 40 degrees. I'm so staying indoors and catching up with my writing, so yeah, I'll probably go out next weekend. Today is just insanely hot. I can't deal. Anyway, today I have a couple of things that I want to talk to you about. First and foremost, it's World Vitiligo Day. Do you know about vitiligo? Anything at all about vitiligo? I mean, not many people know about vitiligo. Very few people know. And those people who live with vitiligo face a lot of discrimination, as in they get teased, they get bullied, they get made fun of, people give them strange weird looks and ask them all the silly questions, and you get your occasional, can I touch this? Is it painful? What happened? Did you get burned? Like all sorts of discriminatory comments to people who live with vitiligo. But what is vitiligo? Vitiligo is actually a skin condition. It's not a disease. It's not contagious. Yes, it may be genetic. It is genetic, actually. But it doesn't mean that when you have it, you can pass it on to your children. Maybe someone along your line of descent will pick it up. Genes have a funny way of being silent for generations, and then suddenly they just come up. It's just how genetics work. You can never fully understand them or explain them. Like, for example, with me, I live with vitiligo. It started when I was 15 years old, and how old am I now? Yeah, I'm 37. So I've literally had this most of my life. Yeah, and no one else in my family has it, be it from my mother's side of the family or my dad's side of the family. But it is certain that somewhere in my ancestry line, be it from my maternal or paternal line, someone had vitiligo. We don't know who it is, neither do they know. I mean, how would we know about people that lived hundreds of years ago, in our family? I mean, back in Africa, hundreds of years ago, I doubt anyone could afford to have a camera and take pictures, family pictures. I don't even know how my great-great-great-great-grandparents looked like. So maybe one of them gave it to me. Unfortunately, I'm the only one in the family who has vitiligo. None of my cousins have it. None of my siblings have it. Literally, I'm the only one, And it started when I was 15 years old. I remember when it started, my skin started to itch. Like, my skin would itch a lot. And I was wondering, why is my skin itching? And then I would get a little rash, And then after some time I noticed I had a white patch developing. Actually, it started on my chest. I have let me try to show you. I have a tiny patch on my chest here. Yeah, it started here. And then before I knew it, it spreads. Then I got it on the neck and by my ear. I also had it on my lips and then on my fingers as well and on my toes. It spread like that and it would itch a lot. And every time I scratched when it was itching, I felt like it was spreading even further, and cannot begin to describe what that did to me as a teenager, just 15 years old. And I have this thing that I'm getting. My skin is lightening up. I don't know why. It knocked my self-esteem a lot. I started to wear a t-shirt underneath my school uniform, when it started on the chest. Because I was too embarrassed I didn't have the confidence really to walk around with it, And when it started spreading into my neck, when I started getting it on my neck, it was just unavoidable. Those questions were just unavoidable. I was even bullied, and I was given all sorts of names, So, yeah, then I just retreated and became this quiet kid, kept my distance and just focused on my books. And it killed my self-esteem a lot. And I think that's when my life with depression started. I mean, as a teenager, your self-esteem lies in how you look. It matters a lot how you look like, and, because that's how we define ourselves, by how we look. And how we look determines how we feel. So imagine now I can't wear a nice tank top because I have this patch on my chest, and it's embarrassing because I get this funny stares and comments and all sorts of snide remarks. And yeah, that can cause a huge dent in a child's mind. And yeah, so that's when my journey with this condition started at 15 years old. And I think that's when I also started presenting with early signs of depression. I didn't know then, but now that I'm older, I know. When I look back, I realize that actually I've been, when I was a teenager, I suffered from depression. And it's very easy for depression to be overlooked when you are in your teens, when you are younger, because when you're a teenager, it can easily be dismissed as moods, like teenage moods. Acting funny now, teenagers and their moods, it's hormones, you know what I mean? But actually, yeah. And it's a pity because I had no one to talk to about it. My mom noticed that I was changing and it bothered her. So, because she also couldn't understand, why is my skin turning light? Why am I getting patches of light skin? So she took me to a dermatologist when I was 16 years old. Yeah. Because she was really scared. She's like, what's happening to my child? I mean, she was thinking all sorts of things. And I too was thinking, am I going to be having different patches of light whiteness all over my body? How am I going to look like? I was particularly concerned about my face because I would imagine that it would spread all over my entire face and my mouth. Actually, it had started on my mouth, but now it's not there. Yeah. So you may be wondering why my vitiligo didn't spread. Why did it seem like I recovered from it? I mean, it's been like this since I was 19 years old. So actually, these three here, it was just one round, huge patch, and now it's like 3 patches. How did it get to go from one round white patch to 3 different kinds of patches? And how did it disappear from my lips? Because I had a white patch here, there, and here. How does it look like this? Why is this white patch filled with dotted melanized? What is the English word? Yeah, I'm sure you get me. English is not our first language. Anyway, how did it get like that, right? So, back to the dermatologist. This dermatologist explained that I inherited it, and because Botswana is very hot, and we spend, as children, we play a lot under the sun. We don't care how hot it is. We don't sit under the shade like adults. We play. We just put on our sun hats and off we go. So he was saying that this is something that was in my genes already. It probably came out as a result of overexposure to the sun. Okay, it didn't make sense to me then. Okay, it still doesn't make sense to me then. Why would it wait 15 years to suddenly come out because of the sun? I mean, if the sun made it, made this condition come out, then it should have started earlier, But anyway, it's a mystery. I don't know. Geneticists and dermatologists, please explain this. Yeah. Anyway, going on. Where was I? Keep forgetting. Some nice raspberry tea. Yeah. So this dermatologist began treating me. He used this cream called Sorelin. It's a steroid, some type of steroid, Sorelin. So every week I would go to the private hospital, and he would apply on the patches on the neck, the ear, the mouth, and the chest, and would expose that to some UV light. Yeah, so that cream only works with exposure to UV light. So after 2 weeks of visiting him and him showing me how to do it, then I started doing it myself at home. So imagine I'm just a 16-year-old and I spend my weekends attending to this condition that I have. I would apply the cream, and then I would stand by the window where the sun shines brightly, and I'll just, for a good 30 minutes, I'll just be standing there and letting the sun shine on the cream and the patch, Then after that, I'll change, and then now it's the turn, it's now onto the chest now, and then, I'll expose the different parts of my body to the sun with that cream on. So the entire process would probably take me like 2 hours. Yeah, because, every patch just, had to be exposed for 30 minutes. Yeah. So that was my life, my teenage life. And he also gave me a cream, not a cream, a foundation of some sort to apply. Because remember I said it knocked my confidence down a lot. I mean, I was beautiful. I was hot. I had a hot body when I was in my teenage years. I can't lie. But then I couldn't fully experience, the fullness of I couldn't take pride in how beautiful I was because of these patches. So he gave me a foundation to use. I'd apply that foundation. It matched my skin tone. I'd apply it on the neck and on my chest. And then I would apply setting powder so it doesn't wipe off, so that it doesn't wipe off upon contact. Yeah. So once I started wearing that foundation, my confidence just went off the roof. So nobody knew that I had vitiligo. I lived and survived on that cream, on that foundation. Yeah, but the doctor had said that it's only a temporary solution because these patches are going to spread even more. So they'll spread so much that wearing foundation would be pointless. But he just offered me that foundation to use just for that time being, to help with my confidence and stuff. Then he also asked me to wear a lot of sunscreen to stay off the sun, Yeah, so that was just my routine until I finished secondary school. So after secondary school, I moved to South Africa. I was 19 years old when I moved to South Africa to do another year of high school, matric, grade 12, because for me to get into a South African university, I needed to do that extra year to make up for the credits. To make up credits that would enable me to get admitted at a South African university, because my BGCSE certificate from Botswana, my GSE certificate from Botswana was not at that level. Yeah. And yeah, that's a story for another day. But basically, our grade 12, Form 5 back in Botswana, the BGCSE certificate is equivalent to grade 10 in South Africa. That's a story for another day. I'll tell you guys. Anyway, so there I was, a 19-year-old in South Africa, in Cape Town. I'm doing my extra year of high school, and I'm no longer using Soralin. I've stopped using Soralin now. Yeah, because I moved to South Africa, and the dermatologist was in Botswana, and yeah, the logistics of moving countries and stuff. So I just stopped using that cream completely, because after 2 years of using it, I noticed that my patches were not growing. Actually, they were shrinking. As in, not necessarily shrinking, but I was getting my pigment back, So I just stopped using it. Because, yeah, for that reason, and also because it wasn't available. I had to get it through prescription, and the logistics were just a mess. So yeah, I just never used it. So that whole year, when I was in Cape Town, of course, I made sure I stayed off the sun and wore a lot of sunscreen, continued to exercise those preventative measures that I'd been advised to put into place. But my patches are not growing, which was good. For me, I was very happy. And, I continued with the cream, the cover cream, and the foundation that I was wearing, So not everyone knew that I had vitiligo because I covered it so well, but only my roommate at the time knew. And my then boyfriend also knew. Yeah. And I would say that year was very good for my vitiligo. Like I said, the patches even started shrinking, they shrank even further. During the treatment with Soralin, I would notice that, okay, there is some improvement. They've stopped spreading. The itching has stopped, and it looks like it looks like I'm getting my melanin back, Yeah. Anyway, back to vitiligo. It happens, it's been postulated that it's an autoimmune disorder, not a disorder, because it's not contagious, and you don't get it from anyone else. You can't get it from touching someone with it. So what happens in this autoimmune disorder. It's the immune system, the specific immune cells attack, like your immune cells attack themselves, as in they recognize themselves as a foreign body, as in this case, melanocytes, my melanocytes, that is the cells that manufacture pigmentation. I know, I'm sure you've heard the term melanin a lot. Melanin means skin color, but the cells that produce that skin color are known as melanocytes. So in this case, the melanocytes in my body get attacked. They are now suddenly seen as a foreign body, so they stop making pigment. But actually, I think it's because they mutate, and that would also explain the overexposure to the sun theory that the dermatologist told me about when I was a teenager. Overexposure to DNA causes mutation. It can lead to mutation, over a certain period of time. It would make sense that way. I would say that probably they mutated and they stopped producing pigment, I wouldn't say it's so much of an autoimmune disorder, Yeah. The mutation part of it, explaining it as a mutation makes more sense. So, there's different kinds. It can, there are people who have vitiligo and it spreads all over their bodies. Like, for example, Michael Jackson, he had vitiligo. And then he just ended up deciding to turn white because, he was not going to look, he probably wasn't looking good. I mean, we don't have many pictures of him with it as a black person. We just suddenly saw Michael Jackson turned white. He was no longer a black man. You know what I mean? There's this girl who's a model. I forgot her name, a beautiful black girl. I know her name, but I forgot it. Yeah. She has it all over her body, like even her face. She's an international model. She's American. I forgot her name. And then there's another girl. She's South African. Her name is Koti. Yeah, Koti. I think her name is Koti Iman, something like that. I forgot her real name, but her Instagram is Koti. Instagram name handle is Koti Iman. Yeah, she also has it, and she was one of the finalists in Miss South Africa a couple of years ago. She has it on her face and part of her head as well, because she has a white patch of it. Yeah, so those are examples of it spreading widely. I'm one of the 5% of people with vitiligo that have it localized, as in it's not widespread all over the body, it's just focusing on certain areas. So since I was 19 years old, I've been like this. It has not changed at all. It has not shrunk even further or spread. I've done university and then went on to have children, still with it. Nothing else triggered the immune system to make it spread, right? And none of my children have it. My children are, they're perfectly normal. They don't have any signs of it yet. I don't know. Maybe they'll be the first in the family. One of them will be the first in the family to directly inherit it from someone. Yeah, I don't know. So today is World Vitiligo Day. Day where internationally we raise awareness about vitiligo. We support each other. Today in Botswana, my home country, they are having a walk in Maung, and that walk would be followed by various talks by experts, dermatologists, mental health awareness experts as well. So yeah, I wish I was there. I hope I'll join them next year. And today is also my childhood bestie's birthday. Yes, it's her birthday today, and in describing my friendship with her, I cannot even begin. I don't know where to begin because this girl is my sister. The sister that I got to choose myself. She's my soulmate. We've been friends since we were 11. We met in primary school. She was a new student. Just came on transfer, and she was classmates with my cousin. And since my cousin was my automatic childhood bestie at that time, I mean, our cousins are our childhood besties when, those are the childhood besties by association or blood. Because, yeah, we learn about friendship through our cousins. Anyway, so she was friends with my cousin first, and then my cousin introduced us, because my cousin and I were always together, and then she's like, oh, there's this new girl, she just came, and oh, yeah. And from that time, a beautiful friendship blossomed, we became more friends with each other than she was with my cousin, and eventually they grew apart because she and I clicked more. Where you have two friends and then you introduce them to each other and then they kick you out of that friendship. It just happens. They fall in love with each other and become besties, and then you become the odd one out. That's what happened with me and my cousin and my friend. Her name is Lesego, aka Red. Yes, so shout out to her today. Happy 30th birthday. My person, it has been an amazing 26 years. 26? 97 was how many years ago? 27 years. Yes, it has been 27 years of knowing you, growing up with you, adulting with you, and yeah, here is to 27 more years. Anyway, also on this day last year, this girl, the birthday girl, she, usually we throw parties for our friends, right? But she actually threw a party for her friends. She gathered all her girls, put them in one room. We were all dressed up, all glam. It was that type of event. And now imagine it's winter in Botswana and we're all dressed up in heels and glamorous dresses, Yeah, I can't begin to describe how cold it was and having to take pictures outside in the cold while dressed up. It's a story for another day. Anyway, so she organized a brunch for all of her girlfriends, all of us. She has many friends, and our friendship with her, we contribute. Our friendship with her is different, and according to her words, she doesn't grade her friendships. There's one who's more of a friend than the other. She loves all of her friends, and she loves that she loves that she has different friends because they contribute to her life differently, and she relates with them differently, and being an orphan, she's an orphan. Growing up, she found a lot of comfort and solace in friends. When we became friends, she just lost her parents. Her mom and dad just died within months of each other, and we were her comfort. We became her comfort. So she made, on her birthday, she called us. We didn't contribute a cent. We just brought our beautiful selves, dressed up with our beautiful smiles and gifts, to go have brunch with her. She organized a nice brunch with, it was so intimate. And I had never experienced anything like that, someone throwing a party for their friends. She brought all of her friends under one roof and she said, today is my birthday, yes, but it's about you, my dear friends. I'm celebrating you. I'm appreciating you. The various contributions you've made to my life. You have contributed to who I am now. From those friends in primary school that I made when I was a kid, and to those that I've made throughout my entire life, the different areas and stages of my life, yeah, all of you are under one roof. Today is about you. She even had gifts for us, guys. I mean, she had gifts for us, and she gifted each and every one of us. It was a pair of socks and a handkerchief. I still have them. Like, who does that? It takes a very special person to show that much of appreciation to her friends. And she said that the reason why she also decided to honor us, her friends, was she had suffered a great loss the previous year, 2021. A friend of hers passed away under very painful circumstances, and it affected her a lot mentally. And being somebody who has experienced loss before, I mean, you never get over the death of your parents at all. You never. It doesn't matter how old you are, because, especially when you lost them as a child, and imagine now going through another loss now in your adulthood. The grieving may be different, but it also triggers and opens up, a lot of wounds. So through the loss of her friend, she mentioned that during therapy, the therapist suggested to her that maybe she must appreciate her friends more, and not throw like different kinds of weights in her friendships. She must just see her friends on the same level and love them with the same love, but of course relate with them differently according to the nature of their personalities. I'm not sure you know what I mean, but she made that branch to come to say to us that, ladies, I love you, I appreciate you. The loss of one of you made me realize how each one of you is valuable in my life. We were about 20 or 25, I think. And out of the 20 and 25, only 3 of us had been friends with her since we were children. Yeah. The other friends were from, throughout the years, the different stages of her life, including work besties. I mean, we do have work besties. You have friends you have people that you work with, but you end up becoming friends, like genuine friends, who look up to you at work, and you also do the same, and you can just run to and, just have that mid-morning tea and some goss. Anyway, so on my friend's birthday, when she extended me the invitation to her birthday brunch, I said to her, I don't have anything to wear. And then secondly, I was in the middle. Actually, I was deep within the belly of a major depressive episode. So I really, really couldn't even bring myself out to go and be around other people. I couldn't, This girl literally sent me 2 dresses. And I was telling the truth when I said I don't have anything to wear. And my not having anything to wear was not an excuse for me to not go to her brunch. I genuinely did not have anything to wear. And secondly, I was going through a major depressive episode, and when you are in that state of mind, the last thing you want is to be around people, happy people. You know what I mean? But that's a story for another day. So she sent me 2 dresses and she says, my friend, I know you are sick. I know right now you are off sick work and you can barely get out of bed. And the last thing you want is to be around anyone. But here are 2 dresses. You can choose whichever you want and wear it, and please come. You have no idea how your presence would mean to me. It will also do you a lot of good to come. You don't realize it, you don't understand it, but it will do you a lot of good. So please come. So, yeah, day came and I chose the less glamorous, of the 2 dresses that she had sent me, Oh, actually, this nice top that I'm wearing is a gift from her as well. Yeah, so, and I didn't even do my makeup well. I just put on foundation, and then I put red lipstick on, and I dragged my ass to the venue, and yeah, I was on autopilot mode, but I just said, you know what, I need to do this for my friend. I'm going to force myself to do it. I did it. And when you go to an event when you are in a depressive episode, it's different from when you go when you are just okay. I was there, I could see that, okay, this is a nice party. Everyone is happy. People are laughing and taking pictures, dancing, and that it was a very nice, intimate event, But I couldn't feel anything. I wasn't feeling. I was just an empty shell. But I dragged my ass there because my presence mattered more to my friend, regardless of how I was feeling inside of me that day. So I decided to put myself aside and just force myself to do it. And I'm glad I did, because I got to share in that memorable event. I've never been spoiled by a friend that way. Old as I am, I've never had that or seen someone throwing a party for their friends on their birthday. She made it about us, not about her, even though it was her birthday, So I will forever remember that time, because, it's World Vitiligo Day as well. And it was at a time in my life where I had no will to live. Yeah. I'll never forget that time. And I'm grateful to her for loving me in good times, in bad times, in sickness, and in health. I don't know if you remember in my previous post, my last YouTube post, I spoke about a friend who helped me a lot when I was going through a major depressive episode, the one who picked up the pieces of my life and put them together. That's her. She's the one. Because of life circumstances, that would go through certain periods of time without talking. Not because we have fought or we don't love each other anymore, but because life happened. For example, the time when I was living in South Africa and she was in Botswana, we don't talk every day. We could go months without talking, but the love is still there. When we do meet, we do fill in on each other. What's been happening? We cry, we laugh, we do all sorts of foolishness together. Yeah. And when she lost her friend that December of 2021, I remember I was with her. I went with her to her friend's memorial, and she was crying her eyes out. I was also crying. I knew that girl through her. She was an acquaintance to me, And I was crying because my friend is crying, and I was hurting because my friend is hurting, So I said to myself that I need to go and be there for her again, because she too has been there for me in my major life events, even the small ones, the tiny ones. She's been there whenever circumstances allow it. She is the sister I got to choose. So happy birthday, my dear friend. Here is to 38 more years. One day we'll be sitting there, gray-eyed, watching our grown-ass children with their kids who will be gogos. Grannies. And these cups, instead of tea, there'll be gin and tonic in there. Today I'm drinking tea. But one day it'll be gin and tonic. And here's to doing much more together. Oh, one thing about us, the thing that we share in common, it's not planned. We didn't plan it when we were kids. We didn't talk about it. We both have 3 kids, and our 2 eldest kids are girls, and our youngest, the last born, are boys. And our kids' names start with A's. All of my kids' names start with the letter A. Same with her girls, but the boy's name is different. It starts with an I, not an A. She decided, nah, I'm gonna break this. Hater! Yes, and she's a new boy mom. She recently gave birth. Her 3rd child, her last born, is now 2-3 months. Yeah, somewhere there. So this is, her son is her birthday gift, and she's enjoying him on her birthday. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please comment. Let's talk in the comments. Please share. Let's grow the channel. Road to 100 subscribers. And here's to many more stories. I have many more things I want to share with you. Maybe my next post should be about the cultural shock that I experienced when I arrived in England. Just a girl from Botswana in England. Oh my word. I'm not sure if you remember that movie, the one with Eddie Murphy, Coming to America. I experienced something of the sort. It was insane, guys. Okay, you know what? That deserves a post on its own. So my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you my cultural shocks. Cheers! Happy Sunday!
I kept describing to God, I want a friend who's like this, I want a friend who... I think I mentioned a lot of qualities. So after that, probably I forgot about that prayer. But then my whole life is a testimony of that prayer. Because I started having so many friends who are different colors and different things to me. There is no level who is the highest, who is the lowest. They are all my friends. They bring different things to me. It's like, I was telling Ludo the other day in the car, my friends are like a body with different functions. But to me, when my friends come together in one room, I see a picture of Jesus. Because that is what he is to us. He's our friend. He listens, and some of you listen. He cares, and some of you cares. He gives, and some of you give. He plays, and some of you play. He sits there and says nothing. Some of you do that. You understand? So for me, that is now when I start to realize I didn't know it. And you might wonder, hore, why now? Somebody told me, hore, we celebrate your 37th birthday like it's your 40th, because 40th is well known. Like, I lost one of you, and you all know. And I went for therapy after she passed. So, so after she went to be with the Lord, it's still very so. After she went to be with the Lord, I went for therapy, and when we were done, the lady told. So I felt, I want you guys to know how I feel. I don't want to start seeing it when you are gone, because it hurts when you can't hear it from me. Okay. So I decided that I'm going to get you guys. Why didn't record? I mean, can listen to when I give back it's and then when I get teary, that's when you record, guys. That's not fair. So I decided to get you guys in one room, because when I didn't ask God why. When my mom died, I asked God why, because I was a child that didn't understand. Every child has to have their mother, blah blah blah. I asked why. But then with Michelle, I had more understanding. I had a deeper relationship with God. I didn't ask why. I just told him it hurts. I just told him that I'm going to miss her. And I am a bit confused because I don't know how